into it. So over here next to my bookshelf, which we'll get to in just a second, we have this little reading table. I'm sitting in a chair right now, so I often read here, put the book I'm reading here. If I need a break or my tea, my water, I put here. This is also where I keep the tarot decks that I'm working with that month. So I have this oracle right now, the Terra Incognita, and then this is the Ritual Tarot. Here we have an incense holder that was given to me by my dad. A piece of jasper, a bougie candle from Veluspa called Cherry Gloss. And here's another candle that I got from my Secret Santa, which was actually just my brother-in-law. So part of the fun of this, I think, is seeing what has changed. I don't think that I mentioned this last time, but we finally replaced this kind of outlet cover. It was this terrible brown-gray color. You can go back and see, but now it just blends in. It's white. Okay, so here is my bookshelf. Top shelf with my favorite books. Second shelf with very good books. Third shelf with very good books. Fourth shelf with good books that are a little artsy-fartsy. And down there are resource books and journals, and we'll get into it. Before I go shelf by shelf, I just wanted to show you too that I have been putting tarot cards on my bookshelf. I'm going to remove these for this video, but these are the ones I'm working with this month. I pulled these cards at the top of the month, top of January. This is the Ace of Wands, the Three of Wands, and the Ace of Pentacles. Down here, I have an I Ching card or I Ching card for this quarter, so for 3 months. Usually I have 2 of these because it's a changing energy, but this quarter nothing was changing, so I just have the one. And then here's an oracle card from the Outgrow Yourself deck that says you are a full sun plant with a star. So just give me a sec while I remove those. Okay, so here we are. Starting at the top, I'll try to just point out what's new or what's really, really good. The Creative Act by Rick Rubin is a kind of spiritually informed guide to creativity, and I would recommend it to anyone. It's hard because all these books are fantastic. Pick any of these from the shelf. You might not love it as much as I do, but you won't hate it. They're so well done. Love Drive Your Plow, little astrologically informed thriller. This is new this year, The Alphabetical Diaries, brilliant memoir. I had outline up here previously, but moved the rest of the trilogy to hang out with her, hang out with outline. Sorry, I'm trying to keep this as steady as possible. And the past year, 2024, read Parade. Outline is my favorite. Well, second place is my favorite by Rachel Cusk. And then Outline, and then the rest of that trilogy in Parade. Rebecca, you can't go wrong. The Copenhagen trilogy is very dark and very beautiful. Written by, I believe, a Danish poet. Elena Ferrante's In the Margins is new for me. it's very good, but it's kind of here as a stand-in for the Neapolitan novels because I read those. I love them. They're some of my favorite books, and they would be here. But they got lost in the mail when I sent them when I moved. So I still have to rebuy them yet. In the meantime, we have this one. Milkman, the details. Cassandra at the wedding is about a woman going home to see her twin sister for her wedding, and a bunch of stuff happens. Elif Batuman. Indelicacy is a little ghosty about women and art making, gender roles. Cold Enough for Snow is very spare and very beautiful. Hyper Objects and Ontology of the Accident are theory. Self-Portrait in Green is a really artsy, like artfully done memoir that I loved, and Two Cities, I guess you could call memoir as well. It's by a poet, Cynthia Zarin, but it's prose, and it feels like being in Italy. It feels like taking a trip. It's so good. Then we have A Room of One's Own. This was a gift from someone who loves me. These are gifts from friends who love me because I lost these in the mail as well. This whole series, which is, I believe, 7 books. Yeah, highly worth reading. I'm obsessed with Anais Nin. Obsessed. This is new. Brought this from my parents' place. It's mine, but I didn't have it. I think I'll read it in like a Patreon audio or something. It's very good. We also recently got a sort of translation of the Tao Te Ching by Ursula K. Le Guin. And even though it's not the most accurate translation, from what I've read, it's very, very good. It really captures the essence of it. So I'm looking forward to that. Love Sanjay. And these are other books that I love. And then here are 2 books in other languages that I'm reading right now for fun. So, Nuestra Parte de Noche in Spanish, specifically from Argentina, and then In Altre Parole by Jimbo Yuri, which is in Italian. I'm kind of going slowly through those just because, yeah, it's just for fun and it's language study, and I really want to like soak up the stories and the language. Okay, second shelf. Also, all great books. All great books. Well, one of these I haven't read yet. What's new here? I've probably shouted her out before, but if you've not read Amy Hempel, she's one of my faves, and I feel like not a lot of people know her. She writes very condensed, short stories, and she's wonderful. Love Yoko Ogawa. What is new? 3 Summers is new. I talked about this in my favorite books of 2024 video. August Blue is new. Some more Deborah Levy. But my favorite of all of these Deborah Levy books, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, is Real Estate. And then probably second, Hot Milk. There are other books by her I'm hoping to read, but I've yet to buy. This is some good Odessa Moshfegh. She's hit or miss for me, but this one is quite good. Love Daphne du Maurier. Love Doug Jansen, who made the Moomins. She's also a great writer of novels. Clarice Lispector. I have Apple in the Dark as well. Highly recommend, but it's down in some other shelf. Yeah, it's in some other shelf, but I've got to bring it here because here's where it belongs. A lot of my books are in translation, although not all, but this kind of is like definitely in translation, this corner. And we have Clarice. This is fantastic, although quite overwhelming. It's her complete stories. The Hour of the Star is much more manageable, very, very good. And I really liked The Apple in the Dark, which is just one story, one novel like this one, but longer. It's almost 400 pages. And I want to get some other books by her, some other novels. I have some recommendations from a friend here who studied her, so I hope to do that soon. Then these are all Spanish to English translations, I believe. Is she Argentine? He's Argentine, Spanish, Mexican, I want to say Mexican. And what's new here? Maybe this one? Definitely Bariloche, I believe is new this year. My friend recommended this one to me. I liked it. It's about a man in Buenos Aires who drives a trash truck, like a garbage truck, and puts together puzzles in his spare time and goes on a tiny adventure. I love this book. And Javier Marias, I said it like caviar, Javier Marias is just like a good read, solid read every time. I don't know which of these is my favorite. I actually don't know. But I think the most accessible is probably The Infatuations. Then here we have this sad loner book, Gotta Find a Better Place For, called Possessed by Witold Gombrowicz. And he's great. He wrote Cosmos, which I love. I'm just trying to decide if I want to get a different edition of this or not. He's a Polish man who lived for quite a while in Argentina. Okay, moving down here. Give me one sec. Okay, this is another shelf of also very good books. What's new here? Well, I read Things Fall Apart ages ago, but it was on a different shelf and I moved it here. It's great, and the ending is like chef's kiss, just like so simple and brilliant. Freaking love it. My Work by Olga Ravin is maybe new. She wrote The Employees, which is like a very sparely written sci-fi book. Like, it's like prose poetry almost, and it's not clear what's going on. And you're reading these interviews with different employees on this spaceship, essentially. But this one, My Work, is about motherhood, and I actually didn't finish it because I was worried it would convince me to never become a mother. It was like freaking me out too much, wigging me out. I've read other brilliant books by brilliant women on being creative and being a mother, and they haven't wigged me out, but this one just really did. I don't know why, because I blocked it out. It just felt so real, and the narrator, the protagonist, felt like not me, but someone I could know, and it was just hitting too hard, too close to home, which means it's really well done. I'm gonna come back to it because she's amazing, and this cover is also like so gorgeous, so good. You can see where I abandoned it. here's some plays by Annie Baker. I don't know many playwrights, but I really love her. Some poets I like, which I think I'm going to read in Patreon audios, maybe. These were at my parents' place and I brought them home this year. Racconti Italiani, Italian Stories, another book by Giubilari in Italian called Dove mi trovo. Then we have, you can hear that kind of scratching sound, that's my ZZ plant on my back. The leaves are kind of like gently scratching my back because it's just right here. It's even closer than it appears. Anyway, Rubik's Cube, my growing collection of Natalia Ginsburg. I'm obsessed with her. I am obsessed. She got me out of a reading rut. I just love her. She writes novels contained as like novellas, and that is my bag, and I just love her. And some fun editions of these things, some more poetry by John Ashbery. Here's my journal. I journal every week just to get my head on straight. And then here are books that I haven't read yet, recently bought or plan to reread. So reread, just bought this one because I've heard a few people talk about it, including Alyssa and someone else, I forget. Still have to read this one by my girl Marina Daye, translated from the French, I think. Inheritors by Asako Sarasawa. And then these, I'm gonna do a book haul or like new book video soon. And Family Lexicon, my lesbian novel, Overstaying, and The Symposium will all be in that. So here's a little sneak preview. I don't know why I'm eating it. Okay. Here's the leaf that was on my back. This one was like, alright, here we are now by the candle. This is like a little bit of my artsy fartsy shelf, but not quite. I don't quite know how to tell you what it is. It's kind of like books I enjoyed and admire the project of, but didn't feel as connected to. But then other books here I do love. It's just books that don't live elsewhere. Because some of these books I love maybe more than some of these. The top two shelves though are like chosen. They are chosen. But here, these are all good books. You know, I read a lot more than this shelf shows, so if it's here, then it's been worth keeping, been worth looking at every day kind of thing. So these are all good books. Let's see what's new. Well, and other things I want to say. Still love leaving the Atocha station. This one has been very, like, sun-washed. Look, it used to be much brighter. The spine is sun-washed. The End of Days by Jenny Urban Beck. I don't know if I've told you before, but it has different sections, and in between each section it has like interstitials in which she dies. It's just like 1 page long, but then the second section will continue as if she were still alive. And then there's another interstitial, like she dies. And then the third section will continue as if she still lived. And it goes on like that. It's really brilliant structure. Jenny Urban Beck is very adventurous and experimental, and I love that about her. Dennis Johnson, such an artist. Speedboat, super fragmented, really good. A High Wind in Jamaica. I'm sure I told you about this one before, but it's like these kids get put put on this ship crossing the ocean, and then they're like on a pirate ship and they don't have parents and they just like run amok. It's absolutely crazy and really funny. Definitely dated. It's an older book, but it's surprisingly good. It really hooks you. The Pumpkin Eater, I think, is new. I really liked it. It's very close to this woman's life, they say in the intro. She's just a very sad woman who is always trying to get other people to love her. It Lasts Forever and Then It's Gone is definitely new. Really liked it. A kind of literary zombie book, and I loved how short it was. I don't think it should have been longer. I'm always pleased when things are not longer than they need to be. I know I've told you about this before, but Treasure Island is a freaking laugh. So if you haven't gotten it yet, but you're interested, here's your reminder. Love School for Fools. Okay, this one I don't know if it was here last year. The Diving Pool by Yoko Gawa. Same as The Memory Police. She's Japanese. And I read it a while ago, but I just picked it up again because I was thinking about it and was like, oh, I want to revisit that. It's 3 novellas that are kind of thematically linked, but that's about it. They're all really dark and obsessive and odd and great. These are all like pretty atmospheric books in here. This one's new. I did like it. I don't know, some of these, like, I don't know how long this will stay, but I did like it. Obsessive books, like atmospheric books and obsessive books here. You know I love this one. I want to reread Sidewalks by Valeria Luiselli. And what else do we have? I don't know how long I'll hold on to these Sally Rooney's either. I did really enjoy reading them, but I also just might want to make some more room on my shelf. So we'll see. Because maybe I will reread them. I mean, that's why I've held on to them this long. So, okay, moving down. Alright, so that's the underside of the table. This shelf is less like visually pleasing than the others. The others aren't color coded, but there's a certain sense to it, whereas this one is less sensical. But it is also the shelf I see least often because it's down here. So it's accessible to me, but it's not like the most important or the most visually, it doesn't have the most visual pull, so it kind of doesn't matter. So here we have some tarot books. This was a gift from my partner a few years back. The Library of Esoterica Tarot has lots of good cards and art and summaries in it. Really, it's a beautiful book. Tarot for Change is one of my favorite tarot books I've ever read. Took me a while to get into it. The first time I opened it, I was like really not about it. And then the second time I opened it, I thought it was genius. So that was a very trippy experience, which this goes without saying, but it was, I'll say it, it was just a good reminder that books always stay the same. The text is always the same, and it's what we bring to it, what we're able to bring to it, and our experiences, our knowledge, our mindset, our openness that allows us to receive something from the text in return. And not every book is for everybody, and not every book is for you right now, you know, but you might change and see it differently in a bit. And I just think it's so beautiful how the text always stays the same, but we can change and have different experiences with books as we revisit them or retry them at different points in life. So, love this. This one's also good, but this one's better, in my opinion. Portrait of a Marriage by Nigel Nicholson, who's the son of Vita Sackville West, who was a lover of Virginia Woolf. Really good book. Mine's a little dinged up here. And then these are some essays, kind of, loosely. How to Read Now, I enjoyed. Having Been Had, I love. The Argonauts. It's genius. It's like a, what do you call it? Like a personal essay with lots of citations. I'm forgetting what they call it, but anyway, so good, obviously. Monsters I enjoyed. I wanted a little more from it, but she also explains why you can't get a little more from it, why this equation of how to judge whether to engage with the art of complicated artists is always personal and always subjective and always up to you. It's so subjective. It's really good. Great cover too. This is a little tight, so I won't pull it out. Good, good, good. Pretty good. Oh, this one's new. I read it a while ago, but just brought it back. The Hatred of Poetry by Ben Lerner. Just like why so many people seem to have an aversion to poetry. Really great. And The Virtues of Poetry by James Longenbach. I've seen these before, except for this one, Lies and Sorcery. This is also a little sneak preview of like a book that I'll have in a new books / book haul video soon, because I just bought it maybe a week ago based on a recommendation from one of you, so thank you. It's enormous and intimidating, but I am excited. Finally, we have some more notebooks, just random notebooks. This one has some ASMR stuff in it, some tarot stuff, goals and planning, like free writing. This has some creative project notes in it. And then here are some more foreign language books. We have Pedro Páramo, which really should be up top, but it's here right now. And then this Nora Lang book. She also wrote People in the Room, and I really want to rebuy that. That's another book that got lost in the mail. And then we have another book by Francoise Sagan. A Bit of Sun on the Cold Water. She's the one who wrote Bonjour Tristesse, Hello Sadness, which I really love. And yeah, looking at the shelf again, there are some here I'm not sure I'll keep, like really honestly, Tara's Story, even though I love Temporary by the same writer, or Edinburgh. I did really like it, but we'll just see. Time will tell. Alright, I'm gonna stand up to give you an overview and say goodbye. Also, Biography of X, I'm not sure if I'll keep, but then I also have this really beautiful hardcover. Why? Okay, so here we are in all her glory. Excellent books, super duper good books, and other very good books. I love books so much, and if you're here, I'm sure you do too, and that makes me really happy. So thank you so much for being here. It's been a pleasure to share this with you. I hope you are doing super well. And if you're not, that's okay too. I will talk to you very soon.